war, and it continues. Although yesterday we were talking about some good news. Let's welcome back in retired Air Force Brigadier General Blaine Holt. General, the Ukrainian army continues to take massive swaths of land in eastern and southern parts of Ukraine, including the city of Kharkiv, second biggest city in Ukraine. Is this real? Do you buy this? Is there really momentum behind the Ukrainian army right now?
Well, good morning. So this particular operation, yes, it's absolutely very real. It was planned with precision. It involved the multinational force volunteers. Americans who volunteered are certainly in this, but it was very tight-knit. Not very many people in the entire Ukraine government understood that this was going to be underway, and they executed it precisely. And so this is tactically very good. It is by no means a turning point yet. Strategic options now have to be explored. So at the higher levels, you've got Putin running over to meet with Xi Jinping at the SCO. You've got Europe fretting about gas prices and energy crisis that Russia's going to stick them with. And you've got Ukraine in the balance saying, where do we make our next move? Looks like it's going to be in Kherson.
General Holt, so tactically, they're doing better, and I would assume that this is mentally doing something for the troops as well, knowing that they're making headway.
Yeah, it's absolutely a morale booster for the forces that are just giving their all for this. But it's also heartening to, the millions of refugees that have spun out of this. It's heartening to the families who have committed their loved ones to this fight. And so you can see that they're starting to see some gains from something that they've been out. And who would have guessed 6 months later still going at. But we can start to see the fraying around Putin in his support base, because they're starting to see the naked truth, which is their army is performing miserably.
General, I want to talk about something that is happening here, or could happen here, formally on Friday. We're hearing about a massive railroad strike coast to coast here in the U.S. The importance of the railroads can't be understated. Think about Ukraine, and what was the first thing the Russian army did? The first thing they did after they started this invasion, after the invasion began in February, was they took out the railroads. What do you make of this, and what this could mean, the domino effect this could have for all of us here in the U.S.?
Just like those twisted ways of counting the CPI and the inflation numbers, we seem to shrug away national security issues like the border crisis. That's a national security issue.
Right.
Rail in our country is our national security. And honestly, they're not really griping about pay as much as they are being overworked. They've cut a third of the national workforce in rail over the last 6-7 years. And they're actually running unsafe in the workers' view. So they've got to get to a solution, because the national supply chain will grind to a halt. We will see those consequences this time next week if this goes on.
All right, General Holt, very quickly, President Putin and Xi are supposed to meet. What do you expect to come of this?
So Russia's never needed China more, and they're going to test what Xi had said about 2 months ago, which is their new relationship is going to have no limits. Well, that's going to mean, well, then you better give us artillery shells through North Korea. You better start providing our logistics. We're going to need weapons. We're going to need money, and we're going to need you to pay more for the oil. And I'm not sure that Xi, on this side of his National Congress, to confirm him for another term, is going to be real interested in that.
We'll keep a close eye on that. General Blaine Holt, good to see you. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you.